Hi everyone, Jamie here with Sweet Pickins. Welcome to my back patio. I am so glad you're here. And man, am I excited about this overdue project that I feel like I've been working on for years. So I cannot wait to show you what this video is about. First off, I'm really far away from the camera. The way YouTube works is the camera has to be going east to west. So in order to get everything in the frame, you have to be really far away. And as you can see, this is super duper duper tall. So I bust out the microphone, and my little microphone, I put on this vintage grater. I'm going to show you guys the microphone, the grater. See, fun. Does this kind of remind you of like a vintage actual microphone? So anyway, I do have my microphone just because I am far away. I'm really loud, so I normally don't need this. However, it is a little windy, so I have a little muff on, and that will help with the noise. But let's get into the video, why we're doing this video. The farm stand. I am so excited to introduce to you the Hello Sugar farm stand. So it is officially done. So I just want to walk you guys through a little bit how I did this, where I got the inspiration from. So let's just kind of go through this. Let's talk about the cabinet first. So this cabinet had a few colors of paint on it, mostly being a maroon color. And it looked like it had started getting worked on. However, it looked like it stopped. And sorry, guys, about the dogs. I am outside. Those are my German Shepherds barking. So anyway, the weenie dogs are inside so that they all weren't barking together. So this needed a ton of work. Had no doors, nothing. What you see as far as the bones go is what was here already. So I sanded it all down and I gave it 6 coats of paint. Yes, 6 coats of paint, because I did not sand it down to bare wood. It was just going to take way too long. So I just sanded it down, smoothed it down, wiped it all down, and started painting. And it just took layer after layer. And I'm like, this has to be the last layer. This has to be the last layer. And I just kept having to put on layers to cover this crazy color. So this actually was free. I got a really late message one night. I think it was October. And it was like, hey, there's this really cool piece of furniture. It's free. It's free. You just have to get it. And it's not too far from you. And I was so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for some of you guys that look out for me and say, hey, there's vintage this, vintage that. This is not vintage, but I did want to make it have a vintage rustic farmhouse flair. So that is what I was going for. So I went and picked this bad boy up. I had to have it picked up in my car driving away by 7 a.m. So it was super, super early that I went and got this piece of furniture. I lifted it myself into my Yukon and I unloaded it myself. And when I unloaded, I said, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with this? I knew it had potential and I knew it was going to have a life, a second life. I just wasn't sure. First of all, I'm like, hey, this would be really cool laying boxes for my chickens. It would look so cute in my coop because my coop is really big and this would be so cute. And I already have a chandelier hanging in there. And so it's like, yeah, aesthetically, it's super cute. And we're going to be working on the farm stand to make it even more bougie coop. That's what we want. We want a bougie coop. So we're going to be working on that. Anyway, so I knew this had some potential. What was I going to do with it? Wasn't really sure. Toyed with it a little bit in my brain. Should I redo it? Because I knew it had to be redone, but should I redo it? Now that's the neighbor dogs. I'm telling you, we live in the craziest neighborhood. We do live in a neighborhood and one dog barks and they all bark. Anyway, so I knew I had to redo it and I knew it was going to be a big, big undertaking. However, I didn't know what it was going to be. So at that point, I really couldn't move forward with it. So Hello Sugar has expanded drastically. Bread sales, cookie sales have just skyrocketed. And so I said, okay, let's try a farm stand. out in a community that traditionally doesn't allow farm stands, but we're going to try it anyway. So I'm tailoring it around that, but that's for a separate video. Yeah. So this here, I I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with it. I kind of was like, okay, let's just paint it white. Let's sand it, clean it, paint it white, and then kind of go from there. So I have a wonderful, sweet client who her and her husband were taking down the fence. And I said, hey, can I come get some of that fence? And of course, my Yukon, oh my gosh, she's just wonderful. And she hauls everything, even old wood, old shit with spiders on it and all sorts of things. I think I had spiders in my Yukon for 6 months. Because I loaded all this old wood up from their fence and it was old. And I loaded it and loaded it and loaded it until I couldn't fit anymore. So I brought all this really awesome wood home. And that is what you see. The sign is actually made of it. And these pieces here on the side are made of it. So I was like, I knew I wanted to incorporate it. It is on the sides here. I did put wheels on. So after I got it painted, the first thing that I did is I said, this bad boy needs wheels. I need to be able to move it around to work on it. So I added 4 humongous caster wheels. They were repurposed caster wheels from our coffee table because I'm a big proponent of having huge, big, heavy stuff on wheels because I like to clean and I like to clean underneath it and I like to move it. And so I'm a big proponent. But when we got our floors, the people doing the floors moved some of the furniture and they broke a wheel. And it never was quite the same. And so had become a hazard. And I didn't want to fall on somebody or my weenie dogs. And so I just said, okay, that's it. My big ass coffee table is no longer going to have wheels. And it may not even have a place here in our home anymore either because it is so big. And it's kind of to the point where I'm just ready to move on. It matches, but it doesn't match, if that makes sense. So anyway, I repurposed them here. So at this point, I already had the paint. I got this whole unit for free. I already had the caster wheels. The wood was free. It was just my labor, and that's fine. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm looking at this being really, really, really inexpensive. And I'm like, yes, please. And so I had some paper and I knew I wanted to add some kind of floral paper element. I wanted to give it just a really, I don't know, just kind of a just aesthetically soft, pleasing, welcoming feel. And I felt like paper was going to do that. However, I knew that I did not want to put paper on all 5 sections. So I decided only to put paper on the top 2 sections. The other sections I did not want to do paper on. So the very, very bottom one, this one, and this one were going to be completely plain and no paper. I didn't want to darken it up because as you can see, it's darker on these two than these two. And I think it's just a perfect balance. Plus, this paper really complements the wood here. And so it kind of all tied together. And then I was like, okay, well, Hello Sugar is the name of my business. I'm not going to name my farm stand something other than Hello Sugar because that is my actual bakery business, right? So what I did up here is I took 2 pieces of wood and I did all these letters. I painted all these letters, did distress details with paint, sealed everything up, and I actually attached it to this unit. So it is attached in the front and the back. Now, I'm sure if we got really, really heavy winds, it may have a problem because the top actually doesn't have a super hard surface. It's a little thinner of wood, but it's up here. It looks good. It's great. It's on there really good. So I knew that I wanted to add Hello Sugar to this. And I wanted to add some sides because, of course, this is an honest stand. So we're going to add in a cash box and I'm going to add information about me and talking about my cottage license that I have. I want everyone to know that they're safe. I've got all my food safety. So I want that to be known. So I'm going to do a little bio about me, talk about my business a little bit, and then I've got both sides. So you can see this piece of wood actually is kind of cool. It's really dark up here and then it goes really light here. So I am going to put my cash box right out here, and I'm going to put my QR code out there for all the information. And then I have some hooks for some bags. So there's still things I'm going to add to this, but I wanted to show you guys how it is before I start adding all that little tchotchke stuff. Plus, I've got baskets that are going to go in these 3 bottom shelves, baskets for all the chocolate dip treats and for all the cookies and whatever I happen to be making. So the farm stand is going to have different inventory every week. We're going to have some staples. We're always going to have cookies. We may always have different cookies, but we're always going to have cookies. We're always going to have bread. We are going to have 3 kinds of bread. We're going to have rustic farm bread, sourdough bread, and cinnamon bread. So we're always going to have those 3. So what I did here up here is I actually attached little pieces of wood. You could see there's no wood here in the front because all these are going to have baskets. But I did put some little barriers on these 2 here because the top 2 are going to be the bread. So I'm going to do the bread on the very top, and then I'm going to do all the treats down below. Now, as far as this goes, this is mostly going to be, it's called a bakery farm stand. So it is not just going to be baked goods. I am going to incorporate, you guys know I have 2 flower gardens back here. You guys know I have a garden back here. So as things start growing, like my tomatoes and my zucchini and my pumpkins, and the flowers start growing, I'm going to start offering those kind of goodies too. And that's where the farm stand really kind of comes into play. Plus, I'm going to have some cute little fun things that I've made, little signs and whatnot. That is not my dog. That is a different dog that was barking earlier. Just so if you hear that dog whining and crying, it's a puppy and it's next door behind us. So anyway, let's get focused back. Anyway, so I am gonna have some really fun, cute little home decor, probably not big stuff. This is an honest stand. So I'm not stupid. So I want to be very careful what is going to be in here. There is going to be times I'm going to be very close. I'm going to be around. I may not be standing right next to the stand, but I'm going to be probably up in my driveway painting furniture, working on stuff, cutting wood, whatever it will be. So I will not be far. So on those days, I may offer some other goodies. Now, I am getting ready to paint a table to match the farm stand that's going to complement and go next to the farm stand. So it's just going to be a table with just some little fun things on it, probably most sweet pickin' stuff. There's also going to be some QR codes for our YouTube channel and our website and our Facebook and Instagram and all the things. So Sweet Pickins has a little bit of a presence here, just some really fun little things. So guys, this is just so exciting to create this business. So I wanted to show you what it looks like after it is all done. And then I'm going to put all the baskets in and kind of arrange the baskets. And I'll do another video kind of showing that. So the baskets are going to be critical because if you think about it, guys, there's not a ton of room. This is not very deep. This is probably only about 10, 11 inches deep. So I've kind of got to go up. I need baskets so I can lean and kind of really maximize my space. And so I'm going to add some baskets here to that. So then that way, I can load more in. I can put more in. So let's talk about the farm stand. So if you're local, I would love for you guys to stop by. It is going to be every Saturday from 8 to 4. There is going to be a couple Saturdays that we are not going to be able to be open for logistic reasons because I will be off in doing an event or show. But for the most part, I am going to be here. I'm going to have everything freshly made the day before. So everything is going to be made. It's only going to be, I'm going to roll it out at 8 o'clock. 8 to 12. So there is going to be signs, there's going to be sandwich signs. I just created a flyer. I just got done doing that last night. So I have a flyer and I'm going to make a sandwich board with a little flyer. All my prices are going to be listed. That is another thing. That was a lot of the reasons why I did add these boards to the outside, is for things like that. I can add a little menu, and of course the bags. You guys don't want to be carrying stuff. You want to grab a bag and fill it up. And so all those things, everything's going to be branded. But I am going to, the first couple of times, I'm really going to be involved with my farm stand, just because I really want to meet you and I want you to meet me. And I want you to, if you don't already know me, I want you to, see the goodies and the love and the hard work that goes into all this, and the quality product that I promise I will always deliver. So, all right, guys. Well, I just want to introduce you to the Hello Sugar Bakery and Farm Stand. And I'll show you guys the first day. I'm going to have some cute rugs out front, and I have an umbrella if it's needed. I don't want the sun getting on any of my products, so we may need to do that. Everything is going to have my address on it, so you're just going to come right up to the house. And I will be around, I promise. So I'll be able to give hugs, and I can't wait. But I just really wanted to show you guys the vision for the farm stand. Now, if you are not following us on Instagram and Facebook, please do. You just have to type in Sweet Pickins, Pickins Reno, because I am going to do some really close-up pictures of this, some detailed pictures so you guys can see. I'm also going to create a reel, and it's going to show you what it looked like before and the process as I was going, and then as it being done, so that you guys can see all of that. So make sure you're following us over there. And then don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. I would love it if you'd like our video, like our other videos, and subscribe to our channel. We're really trying to build up our channel. I have a personal goal. I am going to put out 500 videos this year. So I think I'm right at about 100, and I'm going to put out 500 this year by the end of the year. I am going to make that goal. So I would love it if you guys would subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. I would love for it to happen this year, but it may not. But you know what? I'm so grateful for everyone that does come, and the Chugga Chugga Choo Choo will eventually get to 1,000. So we would love that if you would subscribe. And then don't forget, we have a website, shopsweetpickins.com. There's a blog over there. There's also a place to shop, but there's really cool inspiration for decorating this time of year. So, guys, thank you guys so much for letting me share my farm stand, my vision for a little farm and bakery stand. I'm very proud of it, and I'm excited for this. And I cannot wait for you guys to enjoy all the treats and get goodies for all your barbecues and your parties. And just, just know that it's made with love, and it's, a hug from me to you. So thank you so much. I'll see you on the next video.